Hello. Something a bit different this time. We're not in Amber Valley, we're not at Horsley or anywhere local. We're in Wales, we're on Anglesey, and this is Aberffraw. Aberffraw's on the west side of Anglesey, just below Rosniger. It's about 4 miles from Rosniger. And the tide is in at the moment. We're going to walk down the estuary. The walk we're doing is on the Anglesey coast path, part of it. And I think that's 125 miles around the circumference of the island. And that's the much painted, much photographed arch bridge that no longer carries the main road. The main road now has been realigned to bypass the bridge.
As long as the sun's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. It's our first glimpse of the mountains of the Flint Peninsula. Across there. We're almost at the coastline now. It's quite sheltered here, but when we get on top, I'm afraid it's going to be quite windy. So if there's a lot of camera noise, I'll apologise now. There's not a lot I can do about it other than fade out the audio. And then you don't get the effect. Right, I'm on the headland called Black Point, and this group of stones in front is a Bronze Age burial. And there's been some archaeological work done, and they found flints from 7000 BC, can you believe, indicating an earlier settlement of that period. But this burial dates from the Bronze Age, which is 1500 BC. But that's how it is today. And that's right on the headland as the path from Aberffraw meets the coast. So we're going to carry on, follow the coast. It's quite a handy little resting place here. It's always very windy here. I don't know whether the microphone is reflecting that. But we've sat on this seat a few times over the years. That's the view back to Aberffraw. Looking down the estuary. I think that's the River Frau. Across the island. can be, so I think that's as good a picture as we're going to get. He's got his eye on me just in case I get too close. And there is another one with him somewhere, but at the minute they're underwater. This corner, you're into the teeth of the wind, and the sea state shows the strength of the wind here. Can't see any seals here. There's a couple of cormorants. Accessible, but I don't think we're going to go on this journey, much as I'd like to. We try and limit the mileage we do because of our dodgy limbs. I think I've probably done about 2 miles at this point, but there's probably as much again to do to get back to Aberffraw village. View the chapel from the mainland, and the clouds have rolled in as well. We've got some grey clouds. In that bird there, if you can see it, is a guillemot on the water. And beyond the chapel there's the Anglesey circuit, which is a bike and motor racing circuit perched right on the cliffs. We had some racing noises earlier, but they seem to have stopped. And that's the beach at Cwyfan Bay. To a shingle beach now. There don't seem to be a lot of birds about. Whether it's because it's high tide or not, I don't know. Now the best I can offer is a herring gull today, just perched on that rock as we look out towards the chapel. The water looks quite calm here, but there's still a fresh breeze, but there are not many birds about. We've seen some rock pipits earlier and some wagtails. That's about it. You can probably see the people walking across the causeway now back to the shore. I keep calling this a chapel, but in fact it is a church, and it's dedicated to St. Cwyfan. St Cwfan was a monk who accompanied St Bueno to North Wales in the 7th century. The church was rebuilt in the 12th century. Some Norman masonry remains in the south wall, however the main body is 14th century. The arch-braced roof is partly 16th century, and the outer surrounding walls have been added more recently. These images were from a visit that we made in 2009 in the evening when there was quite a pleasant sunset. I'm going to take the path up towards this van, and the sign indicates the Anglesey coast path, which obviously comes through here, but we're going up here back towards the road, and that's the view looking back down the lane. We have a vehicle approaching. With some vintage machinery in the foreground, we gaze upon Cwyfan Chapel for the last time, because we're going to head inland from here. But from that angle you can see that the chapel is on an island in the middle of the bay. We're going to go up this lane, and at the top of the lane we turn back towards Aberffraw. We always like to gather blackberries when we're here in September, but I'm afraid this year they're not very appetising. They're not ripe yet. There are the odd black ones, but not many, and they're quite small, which is a bit of a disappointment. iron gates, and I used to photograph them. And I just think they've got something about them, and you don't often see them in our neck of the woods. The old style iron gates. A lot of them are the worse for wear now, but I just love the look of them. And there's one. More sheep. There's a couple of cows in this field as well. And there's the church at Aberffraw, which we had a look at last year. I haven't got my camera there. Aberffraw is the seat of the ancient kings of Wales, and there's actually the old palace, which we looked at previously, so I might have a look at that later if we come back, but I don't think we'll do it today. We're back in the village now. Let's just hope that coffee man is still there. There's the village shop. There's the chapel up there. Chapel here. And this is the crown. It was nice in there. Now the door's shut. The door's shut, there's a notice in the window. The crown in Aberffraw. The ubiquitous chapel. There's always a chapel in Wales.
12th of September.
Is that when they're opening?
Yeah, it's next week, is it?
9th?
9th.
Yeah. Right.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll still be here in the 9th. So that's it, we've completed the circle. That's where we started. Looks like the horse trailer's still open. There's a queue. So that's our walk around Aberffraw. We hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully if the weather stays fine we'll be doing another walk in Anglesey. So the refreshment trailer's opened. It's doing a run. So I've got my latte. We've got our ice cream, and I'm going to enjoy it. Cheers. I'm afraid that might be going back for another one.